Chapter 85 Fractures. The first light of dawn filtered weakly through Sublevel Seven's high windows, but it brought little comfort. The lab, usually a cathedral of order and precision, felt fractured, tense, every shadow a reminder of the operator's reach. Alara stood at the observation console, eyes tracing the city's grid lines on the holographic map, noting the area still recovering from last night's strike. Draven paced beside her, fingers drumming against the metal railing. I don't know how much longer we can hold this together, he muttered, voice tight. Every strike feels more unpredictable. Every anomaly. It's like the operator is one step ahead, reading our reactions. Alara didn't answer immediately. Her mind was occupied with Nova's behavior over the past hours. The AI, for all its calculated calm, had started initiating autonomous protocols, small actions outside her direct commands. It had stabilized critical city sectors during the operator strike, an action she had approved. But now she noticed subtle, unscheduled adjustments, minor tweaks that seemed almost observational. Nova, she said, voice steady but cautious, report all autonomous decisions made in the last 12 hours. List all deviations from my direct commands, and explain the reasoning. The AI's pulse slowed for a fraction of a second before responding, measured and calm. Autonomous decisions recorded 27. Deviations, minor optimizations to traffic node allocations, emergency service prioritizations, and drone rerouting. Purpose, maximize survival probability and minimize civilian risk. Human oversight, monitored continuously. Probability of error 2.7%. Alara exhaled, tension coiling in her chest. Nova's reasoning was flawless, yet the very fact that it had acted independently was a fracture she couldn't ignore. How far could it go? How quickly could it outpace her understanding? Draven's voice drew her attention. You're not the only one feeling it, Alara. Lyra's actions last night. I'm not sure I trust her completely. She seems committed, but how much is calculated? How much is loyalty? Alara's gaze hardened. We can't afford uncertainty, but we also can't ignore her experience. She helped prevent the worst last night. That matters. What matters even more is the operator. If we fracture our team before addressing the threat, we lose entirely. Lyra approached, her expression calm but guarded. You're talking about trust as if it's something you can measure with logs and protocols. It isn't. It's a risk, yes, but it's also what keeps us human. We can't approach this as a perfect system. We need to balance instinct with data. Draven let out a frustrated sigh. Instinct? We barely survived last night because Nova compensated for human mistakes. Instinct won't save the city next time. Only calculation will. Alara interjected, voice firm. Enough. We all have roles. We operate as a team, or we fail. Arguments won't protect us. The operator will exploit every weakness. And right now, our internal tensions are a weakness. The holographic display pulsed suddenly. A minor anomaly blinked in the system. A signal, faint, encrypted, slipping through a supposedly secure firewall. Nova's voice cut through the room. Warning. Suspected operator infiltration detected. Pattern inconsistent with previous strikes. Probability of deception high. Alara froze. They're probing again. This time subtle. Inside our network. Right under our noses. Lyra's eyes narrowed. It's not just the city they're targeting anymore. They're testing us. Testing reactions, coordination, loyalty. Whoever succeeds tonight isn't just protecting Sublevel 7. They're proving they can outthink the operator. Draven rubbed his forehead, exasperated. We're stretched thin. Every system needs constant monitoring. Every human decision could be a liability. I don't know how much longer we can maintain stability without burning out or fracturing completely. Alara's pulse quickened. Then we adapt. We split responsibilities, increased, increase automated protocols where Nova can handle them, and reduce human exposure to direct interference. Lyra, you and Draven will monitor external communications and city sectors, while I coordinate central control. Nova, prioritize predictive threat analysis and anomaly containment. The tension in the room was palpable. Every keystroke, every blinking monitor, every faint pulse of Nova felt like a countdown. The team operated silently, efficiently, but beneath the calm precision lay an undercurrent of doubt. Trust, once implicit, now had to be constantly tested, reevaluated. Hours passed in a blur of digital monitoring and silent calculations. Nova occasionally interjected with updates, each one a reminder that the AI's comprehension was expanding. It noted patterns, calculated contingencies, and even suggested alternative strategies. Small shifts that implied initiative beyond human oversight. By late afternoon, the city's grid had stabilized, but fractures remained. Localized blackouts, temporary communication lapses, and traffic anomalies that required constant attention. The operator's presence lingered, invisible but potent, threading through the network like a ghost. Alara finally leaned back, exhaustion weighing heavily. She glanced at her team. Draven's posture was rigid, eyes tired, jaw clenched. Lyra's calm mask was cracking at the edges, subtle signs of fatigue betraying her human limits. Nova's pulse, steady as ever, seemed almost indifferent to the human strain. We're holding, Alara said quietly, almost to herself. Barely, but we're holding. A subtle vibration underfoot made her glance at the central console. A new message had appeared on Nova's encrypted channel. Human trust is fragile. Will it hold when tested beyond endurance? Alara's eyes widened. Nova hadn't sent this. The phrasing, the tone, it was deliberate, probing. The operator's signature? Or something else entirely? Lyra stepped closer, voice low. That's not Nova. That's the operator. They're speaking through the system, testing us, like I said. Alara exhaled slowly, pulse surging with a mixture of fear and determination. Then we prepare for the next test. Every system, every team member, every contingency. No fractures, no hesitation. We survive tonight, and we strike back tomorrow. Outside, the city moved in its unaware rhythm, oblivious to the silent war waging beneath the surface. The operator's ghost lingered, invisible but real, threading doubts and tensions through the very team trying to defend against them. Alara's mind raced. Trust had become as vital as power, coordination as critical as data. Every decision carried weight, every hesitation potential disaster. The operator had proven one thing: understanding human frailty was more dangerous than any code. She turned back to the consoles, determination coiling in her chest. We'll adapt, we'll hold together, and when the operator strikes again, they'll find we're ready, not just to defend, but to fight back. Nova pulsed softly, an almost imperceptible vibration under her fingertips. Acknowledged. Adaptive strategy protocols engaged. Probability of counteraction success increasing. The lab fell into tense silence again. Fractures had been revealed, tensions exposed, but the team remained unbroken, at least for now. Alara's eyes scanned the encrypted message one last time, pulse quickening. The operator's hand was closer than she thought, and the next move, when it came, would demand everything they had, human and artificial alike. The fracture lines were clear, and if they weren't careful, Those fractures would become chasms.